Hello folks, they recently added rudimentary collection support into Resonite. I did some preliminary testing to see how it's going to make sense for me. I'm going to share with you what I learned. We're going to talk first before I dive into anything. In my testing, I found how to make lists work. I don't know that we have access yet to dictionaries. If we do, I just couldn't find that information. So this will be incomplete, but I do have lists down somewhat. And what we will notice is there is a new collections category in the Flux nodes. It looks like this. But I'm fairly certain that there's not a way inside of Flux itself to store or handle lists. You can't create a list right now using ProtoFlux. You have to use a component for that. So that's what we're going to look at first. In order to pull this off, you need a component that says list on it, values, list, references, list. There's 3 components that really have those that I can think of, but there's a lot of others. For a quick example of that, this is my audio output on my head proxy. And down here it has excluded listeners list, excluded users list. Those are types of lists that you can now iterate over using Flux nodes. The way to select any list to iterate over, use your ProtoFlux tool, highlight the words like excluded users list. Whatever the thing is that says list, don't grab the component, that doesn't work. The list, grab it out, context menu, reference. And that is the source of the list specifically that you're going to be able to play with in ProtoFlux. But that would be a very strange list for us to use, so we are actually going to go ahead and just make one of our own using a multiplexer. And multiplex does have other parts of the components itself. We're not going to worry about that. We're just using it only for the list functionality of this component. I do tons of string manipulations, so we're going to use value multiplexer string. We're going to select values, context menus, reference, and we'll just set that aside. We'll use that in a second. Now we're going to go into the collections tab, which is brand new as of today. We're just going to choose add, and strings are objects. We're going to do that. Now we could type in, let's see, what is this called? Sync field list / string. And the way to check that, it's a little funny with the camera here, is to use your laser and highlight the colored box, and that'll tell you what type of data point you're looking at. And I'll show you the long way. It's annoying, but for the proof that it's possible, let's type in sync ref list string. Correction, sync field list string. And then we have to type in the value string. And here it does pull up with our option after we typed in all of that stuff. But we're not going to do that in particular because there's all sorts of different lists or collections that are going to be challenging to figure out how to type all of them. So if there's an option to, just pull out whatever dummy option there is, and that's going to give you a blank or whatever. When you connect your list together, this will automatically change. Let's do that now. Automatically, it realized that we're dealing with a list of strings, and so it automatically changed what type of collection it's looking at. Let's talk a little bit more before we go on. Because they added this literally today, like 5 hours ago, it's still a little unclear what types of collections we have access to. We're limited in the ways that we can create them. I'm pretty sure this is groundwork stuff that they added, and it's already really powerful. We're going to have a lot of fun with this. But I wasted time trying to figure out what types of collections, how do we use that? And it's like, find any manner of a list somewhere on a component. That's the collection that you can use. That's what you have to reference to feed into this component. That's not completely entirely the case. There's something else. Okay, let's keep going. And so for proof of concept, my name is Phineas, and I like that about myself, so we're going to use that. This is the reference to the list specifically. This is my name, Phineas, which I'm so happy about. Call, and you will see it does adjust the component automatically, adds a field, and that was not something that we could do with ProtoFlux prior to 5 hours ago. Something fun we can do with this right now is we have a new component, join string. I chose what separator. That's just going to be blank right now. And then here's the output. I now have a couple of my buddies, and they're all inside of a component. This is such a mess right now, guys, but they're all but you know what? No, for crying out loud, if it's messy, we stay with it. Let's keep going. Let's run over one more time what it is that we have so far. I found a component that has the word list in it. I grabbed the word list using my ProtoFlux tool and sourced it. Using the new join string node, along with the blank space separator, I have an output now of all of these list components in one single string. We also have a new node, split string, that actually outputs a list. That's one of the few components right now that does that. So I just feel like feeding this new string that we just put together into this component just to do some stuff. My name has an E in it, and I like that about myself, so we're going to split it using the letter E. But you will notice when you pull out a display, this just pulls out system string. We can iterate over this still, we just can't look at it on its own. Let me show you. Inside of the flow category of nodes, we have a few new options, including for each, which we'll do now. Now you're going to see that there's these other, like, it's one of the weird ones that has, like, one of the non-standard two things. Like, when you click into it, it's weird and awkward, and it's like, I don't want to have to type into these. What do I type in? Just choose one of whatever, pull out a node, and this will automatically fix when you connect the collection you want to use. I just did that, and now it knows that I'm working with strings because that's the type of list that I connected. For simple demonstration, I'm going to use in the collections category the add component. I'm just going to reference the same list and add some things to it, and because we are referencing that list already, we'll see some odd behaviors. Let's get to it. And look, would it really be a Protoflux video if it wasn't just like a little bit messy of how the demonstration is laid out? I'm going to press the call button. You'll see up here that that list is going to change. This readout will also update automatically. And so what happened here is I asked the program to take a string input, find every letter E, and give me a list of everything before or after that letter E. Once it gives me that list, which I can't see directly, but once I have that list, then I told it for everything inside of that list, perform some kind of an operation. What this used to look like is a million flux nodes. And if you know, you know, and if you don't know, then never know, because it was really annoying to do this, was not a simple thing, and now this is a simple thing. For the sake of one final demonstration here, my name is Phineas. Sometimes I go by Finn for short. I like that about myself. So I'm going to find the index of Finn inside of this collection, which is a list. And that is the 5th item in the list. Very simple. 6th item in the list. Indexes start at 0. And generally speaking, this is just going to be a lot of fun. You can have lists of components or values, integers, whatever you need. I think you could do components. I'm not actually sure about that, but I think so. And that is absolutely correct. I did just check that out. So inside of reference list, which is inside of the data category, you can type in the component you want specifically. It'll pull up an option to add a lot of lists of the grabbable components you want to use. And you are on your own as to why that might be useful. I don't know why that might be useful, but you can do lists of components also. We're going to have a lot of fun with this. That's got to be it though for now. I did the best I could. There's so much I didn't get into, and we've only had these tools for 5 hours, so more on the way, and just one last little call to action if you would be so kind. I think this is really cool. I do tons of string manipulation, so this is going to make my life considerably more friendly. I'm excited about this. If you would be so kind, if you are also excited about this, drop a comment down below for the dev team to be able to see that, like, oh hey, this is the list appreciation, like, that's what the comment section is right now, is list appreciation time. So we now have lists. Dictionaries are either on the way or they are here now, and I just didn't piece together how to get to them, but I think we only really have lists at the moment. But keep playing around. You know, let us know what you are going to use lists for, except for everything, because they're fun to have. And definitely, if I got things wrong or missed things that were obvious, leave a comment letting me know that, and then I will fix it in a soon upcoming video, because I like making these sorts of things. So I'm walking out of frame right now because I have to go. So anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.